Good, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Fundamism podcast. It's Paul J. Long here in the bank building at Charlie Hustle, again, where they shoot all the models and all the fresh duds. Shout out to Charlie Hustle. They've been with us from day one, and we just got word that the Fundamism podcast has cracked the top 200 in self-help podcasts. So thanks to Charlie Hustle for being with us. If you want to learn more about Charlie Hustle, go to charliehustle.com. But most importantly, thank you to you listeners, because we've done no paid marketing. All of this is word of mouth, individuals seeing me speak, or friends or family sharing the good word of Fundamism and the fundamentals of a fun and optimistic life. So thank you. We hope that we're delivering upon a promise to deliver a little more fun in your life. And if you have any ideas of things that you would like to see, hear, or talk about on air, please reach out. Hit me up. info@fundamism.com. Well, without further ado, you know what is fun, Rob? Rob, do you know what's fun? Rob, you know what's fun?
Me.
Food is fun, not you. Food is extremely fun. And today's featured guest actually reached out to me on Instagram. So typically I pride myself in vetting our podcast guests. I know nothing about this young lady. What's up, Ashley Judy?
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh man, I am on cloud nine and rising, sister. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Yeah, I can tell you've been waiting a long time to meet me.
So we're Instagramming each other back and forth, and you're like, I love your podcast. I must have been under a rock for the last, multiple months because I'm just finding it. And I'm like, no, not under a rock at all. Like, I don't do any marketing, and it's just word of mouth. So I appreciate that you found me.
I'm glad I did.
Because you're a podcast
I love
aficionado.
Podcasts, yes.
What's your
I should have
favorite?
found you a long time ago.
Well, listen, hindsight's 2020 is a thing that I've heard
Catching
before.
up, I've been binge listening.
Binge listening,
Yes,
like
yeah.
Netflix.
Yep, it's a thing.
Hopefully you've seen some progression or growth in delivery, because I didn't know what the hell I still don't know what the hell I'm doing, actually.
Perfect. Neither do I.
We talked about earlier, before even coming on here, that both you and I thrive in awkwardness.
Yes.
So we should be a great match on here.
It's going to get weird.
Yes, let's get weird. So first question that we start with every guest, Ashley Judy.
Yes.
What do you do for fun?
Well, I mean, the answer I should go with, since I own a brunch book, is going to brunch with my family. That is probably one of the most fun things that I love to do. Anything with my husband and my son, really. And if we're getting a babysitter, then it's live music.
Okay.
I love going to concerts. And
What's the last concert you went and...
Amos Lee.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh, he's good.
Really? What
Yeah.
type of music genre?
It's like a guy in a
Are you feeling it right now?
Kind of, yeah.
She's moving her
yeah,
shoulders, everybody.
yeah.
She's feeling the vibe. That's the power of music.
Just good. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So you have a son, did I hear?
Yes.
What's his age?
He is almost 2.
Almost 2.
Yeah.
You're going through it. Congratulations.
Yeah, we are. We're in it.
Yeah, so you
toddler.
look well rested for having an almost 2-year-old.
This has been a week. Yeah.
So we have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, just turned 3 a couple of weeks ago. And man, he still doesn't sleep through the night. But
Oh gosh, we're lucky with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you do the sleep training?
No.
Oh.
I don't know what
Just
we
got
did.
lucky.
I should write a book about what
Yes,
we did.
you should.
but-
And not call it the brunch book. What's funny, you said I own a brunch book.
Or I created
business.
a brunch
I don't know
book.
what that
I
means.
shouldn't have said I own a brunch book. That was a weird.
This is awesome.
Awkward. This is awkward.
We're delivering. Yes. So, all right. What's the most memorable moment that you've had? What's your son's name?
Desmond.
Desmond.
Yeah.
How'd you land on that?
Well, so my husband is a really huge Michigan football fan. He loves Desmond Howard. Shout out Desmond Howard.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop. Yeah.
But yeah, so he kept saying Desmond Judy, and I was like, we're not naming our kid after, your favorite football player. And then we just kept saying it, and I loved it. So,
Wow.
Yeah. And we have a last name of Judy, so he wanted it to be a very strong,
Powerful first name.
Yeah.
Now, is it something that what was the strategy in identifying a name? Was there you put down a bunch of names on a piece of paper, or you had a book, or?
I don't think we really had a strategy.
Okay.
We came up with a girl name way before, and then, of course, we had a boy. But his middle name, he's named after my husband's uncle. So
Okay.
his middle name is Mark. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
kind of family.
What was
yeah.
the girl's name?
I can't tell you.
Okay,
because-
fair enough. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So we named our son, many of the listeners know this, we named our son Brennan Royal after Brennan's character, or Will Ferrell's character, Brennan, in Step Brothers.
That's awesome.
And the World Series run. So Brennan Royal Long, yeah.
That's so cool.
So whenever he's acting up, I holler at him and I'm like, be royal. See, and
great.
it's like pointed and it says, do
That
what we
is
need you to
great.
do.
That is great. We call him more Des or Desi or
Okay.
Demo.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's weird hearing Desmond actually.
Sure.
Because we don't call him that very often.
I get it. Well, shout out to Demo
Yeah.
when you're of age and you're chilling in the car listening to your mama on this podcast. You're gonna be like, man, mom, you're a pretty
You're
big
awesome.
deal. Yeah, exactly.
That's like my whole new goal in life is for him to think
That's
I'm
exactly
cool.
right.
Yeah.
Life shifts, doesn't it?
It sure does.
So, tell me about the most memorable moment that you've had with Des or Desmo in the last 2 weeks.
Oh my God. It is great. Like seeing life through his eyes is just such a new experience. So I view the trash man differently. I view school buses differently, like big trucks. We live on kind of a busy corner, and so we'll go outside and like cars drive by, and he's literally like, ooh, ah, ah. Like he's so excited, and I can like really hype him up too. I'm like, oh, Des, there's a blue car coming, and he just like his eyes just light up, and so yeah, it's just so neat watching how he just loves everything, and it's kind of changed my perspective on life as a whole. So,
Well,
I didn't mean to get deep with that, but
no, that is awesome. That's exactly what this is for. We chatted. Literally, I'm learning everything that I know about you right now on the spot, which
perfect.
isn't common
Yeah.
on the podcast. But it's amazing because the whole purpose of this podcast is to showcase what you can learn about others when
Yeah.
you're not asking the same questions as everybody else. I could very easily ask you, "How's your day?" Or tell me about your child.
Yeah.
But what's the most memorable moment that you've had in the last 2 weeks? Look at the joy that
Yeah.
came out of your
You're
face
right.
as a result
You're
of
right.
that.
Yeah.
So, we do change over time, and our definition of fun changes as we grow
Yes.
older.
It's evolved.
It does evolve,
Yeah.
right? And I remember Rob and I were driving to Seneca, Kansas recently to do a gig. And I said, hey, Rob, how cool would it be if we just pulled this car over, went over to that field and started throwing rocks? And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, I think that'd be kind of dope. I was like, Rob, when was the last time you threw rocks? And he couldn't answer.
Awesome.
So when we were kids, we did stupid stuff like that all the
Yeah.
time. But now that we have kids, it gives
get
us
to.
the opportunity
Yes,
to do
yes.
it. And we realize how fun it is.
Right.
So I admire that you take great joy in, living as a kid again and getting as excited about seeing school buses as
I know.
your son
It's so
does.
fun. I cried the other day after the trash man came by. I was like, what is wrong with me? Like he was so excited. He was like, hey, buddy. And like did a whole like honk the horn for him and stuff.
Right.
And I was just like, oh.
Is he super into trash trucks right now? Like you're buying him trash trucks and stuff?
No, he just likes, he likes cars and stuff,
Yeah.
like toys, but it's just seeing them in person that he's
Sure.
like loves it.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have 10 trash trucks at home.
Oh, wow.
And we're watching all the YouTube kids videos
Yes.
and their toy reviews
Oh,
or people acting out things with toys. And so it's all trash trucks every day.
That's awesome.
So like it's the only
I
thing
guess
that he
I
wants.
need to buy him a trash truck. The kid loves them. I need to give him what he wants.
Maybe that'll be the next thing when I see you next because you gave me a brunch book.
You're going to give me a trash truck?
I'm going to give you a trash truck because
Fair
I aim to meet the heart and capture the mind of your young son. Because being in the Fundamism philosophy, it starts right now.
Yeah.
Like the younger, the better.
Yes.
So it sounds like you're raising them right.
Trying to.
So speaking of raising things,
Yes.
you left corporate America
I did.
to start your own business. Mm-hmm. How's that going?
Good. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
do
it's
you? So
evolved.
what were you doing before you left corporate America?
I was working in sales and marketing for a big liquor company. So
Liquor's
yes.
fun.
Yeah.
That's all.
It was fun.
Many of my memorable moments have
Yeah.
liquor in them.
Most people's do.
Most embarrassing moments
Yes.
as well, right?
Yeah.
So you were doing that for how long?
Almost 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what shifted? What made you decide that you wanted something different or more?
Well, so I mean, honestly, having a kid
Sure.
shifted things a lot for me.
Oh,
'cause
now I get the timeline. Yeah.
Yeah, my job was very like in accounts or in restaurants and bars, and I had to kind of do a lot of things after hours and on the weekend, and just like your life evolves, and that wasn't really like fitting my lifestyle anymore, I guess. So that was a huge push, and I just really, I wanted to do something that I felt proud of.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't feel proud. I thought I was really great at my job,
Sure.
but I just wanted, I don't know, it feels good.
I get that. I completely relate to everything you're talking about
Yeah.
as I've, gone through a similar experience in my life. And a lot of people, they strive to do something different, but there's a lot of risk associated with that,
For sure.
and fear and all
For
that
sure.
jazz. So did you go through any of those challenges in your mind, or did you just like, I got it, I'm ready to go?
Oh, all the challenges.
Really?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I came up with a zillion really, really bad ideas before we landed on this. And my husband, who did all the design and everything for this business, once he got excited about it and like started designing a logo, I was like, oh, well, maybe this actually is a good idea. And so we moved forward with it like that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of challenge for
Right.
sure. A lot of like, who am I to do this? Like the whole imposter
Sure.
syndrome.
That's
kind of
absolutely
thing.
right.
So,
I get it. So you said this. We keep referencing your business, but we're not
Sorry.
talking about what specifically it is. No,
Yes.
that's on me.
Yeah.
This is my role as a host, is what they tell me at least. I told you I've never listened to a podcast before
still
in my
can't
life.
believe that.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, Did you know what you were doing when you started your business though?
No.
So
No,
I mean, sometimes you
didn't.
just learn on the.
Yeah, you just like throw things out and hope they stick. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then
But
random.
podcasts are like, I can't believe you don't listen to them.
Why can't you believe this?
Well, because I'm sitting here on your podcast, first of all, mainly.
Oh, I guess she has a good
Like,
point.
First, yeah. But podcasts are like pretty much. That's a huge reason why I started this business. It like gave me the confidence, and it was a lot of like learning about myself and learning about how other businesses came up, and that was, I mean, that was huge for me. So
Sure.
it's interesting that you're where you are and you have never listened to
Well,
one.
it's interesting that you see me as, I don't know where you believe I am, besides right in front of you, right? So all great points. I think my biggest challenge with podcasts is that I love music so much.
Yeah, that was hard for me at first.
So that
Yeah.
transition
Yeah.
but that said, I do listen to sports radio. So, well,
You
you're
listen to
taking,
people talking,
that's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's true. But it's kind of like reading for me. So if I'm going to listen to something, or if I'm going to read something, I want it to be something that is going to improve me.
That's exactly how I am. Like I have friends that listen to like the murder podcast
Yes.
and all these things, and I don't get into those. It's like if I'm listening to a podcast, I feel like I need to be better after I listen to it.
I love that.
Yeah.
But then, so here's my hang up, and I'd love your take on it. So many of the self-help books or podcasts, and that's kind of what we are, obviously,
Yeah.
with we incorporate a lot of humor and stuff like that, and we got funny bits coming. But I feel like everybody's saying so much of the same stuff
Yeah.
that it's like very repetitive, and I get bored because, I listen to the content. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's, hey, be more positive, or, take risks or whatever
Yeah.
it may be. And so I guess I take a lot of that for granted because when I hear the same ideas recycled, and I'm saying that as a hypocrite because I'm doing a lot of the same stuff, right? And it's
Yeah.
resonating with folks.
Yeah.
So, but I guess for me, I struggle with that because I want something that's going to push me and get me to think in a manner that I haven't thought before.
Yeah.
So but that's why you do it.
Yeah, for sure. And I like the ones that are like, that are about business and about how people got their start. And I take things from, I don't know, there's different takeaways from everybody's journey to where they are now. So,
Sure.
But yeah.
So speaking of journeys,
Yeah.
we've referenced your business. What the heck is it? What do we do?
It's called Give and Partake.
Yes,
I
it
think
is.
that's the first time we've said that.
Give and partake. So, a little background. I had said that you reached out to me on
Yes.
Instagram, typically vet. I started looking through your Instagram videos and
Yeah.
pictures and realized that you were an established brand, an established individual, established business owner, an entrepreneur. You've been on several local area shows here in the Kansas City area.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to meet you for coffee. Let's just do it. Let's do the damn thing, and whatever happens,
it.
happens.
Yes.
But you were like, I'm pretty certain that it was a certain Instagram video that sold me on coming on. Yes. And that video was you having a delightful donut from Donutology, right?
Yes.
And the whole time you're doing this interview, you got like this little T-Rex arm.
Yeah, but I didn't like point that out to anybody. Like, so
But now I did.
Yeah, now, yeah. It was more the bite. Yeah.
If you want to see that joy,
Yeah,
then you're
great.
going to have to go to the Give and Partake
At
Instagram.
Give and Partake.
That's absolutely right. Okay, so tell us about the format, Give and Partake. So first of all, I love the name.
Thank you.
Yes. Because it's obviously one aspect of your business is that you are a profitable company that also shares and contributes to nonprofit.
For cause business.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what is it?
So give and partake. You're giving while you're getting. It is a book full of basically free entrees throughout the city. So our new brunch book, we have 33 restaurants in it. You buy any brunch entree, you get a brunch entree for free. There is a fact about, so half of our profits are being donated to the Fox for Love Fund. And then each page has a different fact about the not-for-profit that we're working with. So you're learning a little bit about a nonprofit you might not know a lot about, and you're getting to try new foods and try new restaurants and get out of your bubble, I guess.
The proverbial bubble.
Yeah, I mean, I live really close to two places, and we are there a lot. So.
What are those two places?
McLean's.
You referenced that in our Instagram message?
McLean's and Beer Station.
Okay.
Yeah. So is this like a podcast where they're going to start giving me free stuff?
Oh, I hope so.
Let's just start naming
brands.
brands.
The threes of people that listen to this podcast they're gonna be chomping at the bit to go eat the brunch. So I'm looking here at your brunch book, the Brunch edition, which is your third edition. Is that right?
This one actually, that one's our first one that you're holding right now.
I was just playing.
The one, the first, the one we have now, I think, is over there.
Okay.
But
hey, Rob, hand me that, please. This one? Yes, sir. That one. Thank you very much.
That's the current one.
All right. So give and partake. This is the brunch edition. We also have a mac and cheese edition.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
I've literally done all the things I love. Like I love eating brunch. I have a weird thing with mac and cheese. Yeah.
So on the first page, it says what your mission is. Threefold. Yeah. First and foremost, Give and Partake was created as a means to give back to our community. Love it.
Yes.
Did you know 10% of every single book that we sell actually goes to Noah's Spanish Project?
I didn't know that.
So you and I got that in common, sister. I think that's super important as we strive for
I agree.
Ourselves to make sure that others are receiving. So I love your mission.
Thank you.
Second, our goal is to provide you with not only these delicious entrees, but an opportunity to discover and enjoy local restaurants. What I love about that is one of the important fundamentals of Fundamism is trying new things.
Yes.
Yeah. And food brings a lot of people joy.
It does.
So you reside next to two places that you referenced.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite foods outside of mac and cheese to indulge in?
Oh, gosh. I mean, that's a really hard question. Here's one thing about me.
Here's the one thing.
I don't eat meat.
Oh, really?
I eat fish. I don't eat meat. So sometimes when people, it feels like I should eat meat with this book. But I don't even know why I said that. What is happening right now?
Well, because you wanted to make sure that everybody understands that you're not going to say steak. I love a good steak.
Yeah,
or we reside in Kansas City, so you're not going to say Gates Barbecue is the best,
Although
right?
I do love Oklahoma Joe's.
Do you really?
Yeah.
What do you get there?
They have a Portobello Z-Man.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
Interesting. Yeah. Now, is this by choice, your decision to go? What is that called? Pescatarian?
I read a book years ago and accidentally stopped eating meat.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Yeah,
no,
seriously,
I think that was very deliberate.
I read a book and I was like, well.
Because it grossed you out, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a lot of that. People ask me all the time, have you ever seen Super Size Me? Because I eat like dog poop. I mean, I don't physically eat dog poop, but I eat terribly. And I love to work out. That's one of my fundamentals that really resonates with me. But part of it is because I want to eat whatever I want, whenever I want. Right. So sugar, everything's sugar. I eat all the fast food.
You only live once.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
But I know it's not good for you. And I know that we could potentially be more energetic and feel better about ourselves. I don't think I want to be more energetic.
Yeah, that would drive people.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so I've given you some time to think about it.
Oh,
it's not meat.
Favorite food. God.
You want to take Ross, right?
Yeah.
You want to take Ross out for a good meal, and you're not going out of convenience because it's right next to you. Obviously, great restaurants, but you want to go boom because this sounds delicious.
I think like any fancy restaurant, like whatever fish dish there. I like to try new things in that in that realm. So, I guess just
The Savoy, do you like the Savoy? You ever
I've
eaten
not
there?
been there yet.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I have a child, so
Yeah,
we
that's
don't
tough.
get out as much
That's true.
anymore. Yeah.
That's absolutely
so,
true.
like, if there's, all the new places, if they're not in that book, I'm not normally getting to frequent them because that's, those are the places I'm trying to keep supporting.
Sure.
So, but yeah.
So tell us about how the business model works. So I want one of your books.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do?
So our website, you go to our website, buy it there. It's givepartake.com. And
Give, partake, or give and partake?
Well, both filtered to it, but
Oh,
give, partake. Well,
that's
give
very
and
smart.
partake was expensive when we first were starting, so we went with give,
But now
partake.
you're balling?
Well, no, for whatever reason, it brought my husband was like, it's only $5 now, so we bought it.
Oh, sweet.
But givepartake.com was already on everything. So,
Okay.
But yeah, so givepartake.com, and then it's $50, and then half of our profits are donated to the specific not-for-profit that is tied to each book.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
So with that, what it is, it's kind of a coupon book, essentially, right? Would you say? I mean, I know we don't like calling it that, but because it's so mutually beneficial to all parties.
Right.
But you're paying $50. You're supporting a good cause.
Yes.
You're supporting a local entrepreneur up top.
Yes.
That was a high five. You couldn't see it. And then ultimately, you're getting something as a result in your dining experience.
Exactly.
And side note, it's forcing you to try new things.
Yeah, and honestly, that has become my favorite. I always say this is my favorite part of the business.
You have like
This is my favorite
25
part.
different favorites.
I always lead in with that. But so people trying new things, going new places, and spending time with people that they love has become a really huge, a lot of feedback that we've gotten. Like people will reach out and say, I'm spending more time with my wife, or my 2 teenage daughters love going to brunch with me because of this brunch book. Like it's made me a cool mom, things like that are just make me just,
Are you an emotional being?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed that you. So,
I've referenced weeping a few times.
Man, I don't know. I just cry all the time. I reference crying all the time
It's
as
like
well.
happy crying. No, I'm not talking about
I get it. I
sad
love it.
crying.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something you may not know about me. I'm super emotional.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say like in a bad way. I like to, when I see creativity or when I see folks stepping out and doing something or finding their passion or joy, or I connect with a good song or see a piece of artwork. I mean, it's common nature for me to shed a tear.
Oh, I love that.
Especially when I'm, and people make fun of me all the time. I don't care. But like this guy, exactly. Like you see, Rob's always looking for ways to indulge in making fun of.
I want to make you cry today.
Yes. Well, it's probably very easy. Stand-up comedians. Like I will be crying, laughing, but then there will be a moment where I'll actually look at the construction of their joke or their set or the way that they're talking and how demonstrative they are or whatever it may be. And I find so much joy and appreciation in it that I will literally get teary-eyed.
That's so cool.
Right? Is it though?
Yeah.
Did you hear? That was more of a question.
No, I think it is. I think it is.
But I feel like to me, that's Fundamism. It's like being deliberate in the things that find you joy. And
when you're like really feeling all the feels.
That's exactly
I think that's
right.
important. Yeah.
So brunch is a big deal for you.
Yeah.
It gives you a lot of joy. Find
really
fun
does.
in it.
Yeah.
Have you ever had off Shawnee Mission Parkway, located here in Kansas City? It's actually in Overland Park or Shawnee, I guess. It's called Blind Box Barbecue.
No.
They have a brunch.
Really?
And it is amazing. I mean, it is to die for. And I strongly encourage and challenge you to take the family. We took our kids.
Yeah.
So it's like a classy barbecue establishment, but it's not, on the brunch menu, it's not all barbecue. So it's a buffet. Chocolate fountain. Chocolate fountain, all the fruits, all the desserts. Is Ross into meat?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they'll bring prime rib fresh out of the kitchen to your table. They have a Bloody Mary bar with candied bacon.
Yum.
They have it's so delicious, and the experience is amazing. Our kids loved it.
That's awesome.
Of course, they did drop orange juice on the floor and make a big scene.
Of course.
But, they're 6 and 3.
We only get about 45 minutes of good, toddler time when we're out to eat. So our experience now is really quick.
Does that negatively impact your decision to actually go out to do things?
No. I mean, sometimes it's we'll be trying to figure out what we're going to do. And we're like, this just feels like more work than it's worth.
Right, exactly.
Sometimes. But yeah, I mean, other times it's no.
Well, see, I find that I pride myself in being somewhat respectful of others. And so when I get into situations, I'm constantly thinking about how we are potentially messing with somebody else's environment.
We were at brunch or happy hour or something the other day, and it was just me and Ross and Desi. And the restaurant was basically empty, and the hostess put this couple like right by us. I was like, "Why did you do that? Like, this is the only toddler here. Like, put them in the other corner, so I don't feel bad." Yeah.
And then how did it go down?
I mean, it was okay. I think he ended up watching a little bit of. YouTube. Yeah.
So Ross is dabbling in give and partake.
Yes.
Obviously, this is your brainchild. Is that right?
It's my brainchild, but he brought it to life. Like I'm the type that even with like spreadsheets and things, I'm like, Ross, will you please put this so it doesn't look like a 5-year-old did it, so I can send it on to someone, and look professional.
Yes.
So he is very much like the yin to my yang. If you will.
Absolutely. My wife Melissa is exactly like that. So I understand everything that goes into starting a business.
Yeah.
We talk about the risk and all that stuff, but behind the scenes, obviously, you have to have a supportive system and spouse. Yeah. And so not only was he supportive of you starting this business, he's been instrumental in helping create it.
Oh, yeah.
And side note, while working a full-time job, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about that experience. How does he balance all of that?
So he works all day and then he really is incredible. So he works all day, he comes home, and then from like 5:30 to 7:30 before Des goes to bed, we're like parents, like we're only focusing on that. And then I put Desi to bed, and then I come back out, and he normally has his computer on his lap, and he's like, "What do I have to do tonight, boss?"
Wow.
So it's just, we do a lot of stuff that, after Desi's in bed, and just try to hustle and get it all done, I guess.
So a couple of days ago, and this will air next week. So, but a couple of days ago was National Administrative Assistant Day. Did you get Ross anything?
No.
Boo!
Dang it.
Boo to you, boss! Way to ruin that one.
I say he's the CEO of the business.
Okay.
I say that, and I say I'm the CRO, I'm the Chief Relationships Officer.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yes,
You've decided that. What does that entail, the Chief Relationships Officer?
Messaging people on Instagram and asking them if I can be on their podcast.
Oh my goodness. Well, you're killing it.
Thanks.
Because this was a short turnaround time. You reached out 2 days ago? 3 days ago? And here we are.
Yeah.
How about that?
I have a friend that tells me that I don't have that thing where I'm afraid that someone's going to say no, which I think is important, I guess, and when you're building a brand. But and
I think it's how you present yourself, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you established, and I'm certain that this is probably your business model too, and this is why you've seen the success that you have. There's a way that you can go about doing things in a deliberate manner that shows everybody that it could be mutually beneficial and that there's respect there, right?
Right.
You could have very well said, "Hey, can I come on your podcast?" But you didn't say that. You said, "Hey, I've been under a rock. I just found it." Right now, you're pleasing my ego a little bit, right? So you're like, "There's
my first rodeo."
Exactly, right. I'm like, wait, there was 200 downloads last week.
I
know. I'm just joking. But nevertheless, I think that you go about it the right way. And
thank you.
Obviously, you never get what you don't ask for.
I feel like my last job really helped me with that, because it was like the worst thing someone can say is no.
Sure.
And if they do, then it's not hurting me.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you're in the food business, essentially, and the business of relationships, which we all are, whether you're in service or banking or, whatever you're in. Clearly being in the food business, you are a magnificent cook or chef, right?
No.
What do you mean?
No. No, I created a book full of restaurants that I can go out to eat at.
So do you guys ever cook food at home?
I like meal kits and stuff.
Oh, really?
And we don't even do those very often. We eat out a lot.
So what's interesting about that is, when we were first establishing this business, I say we, like Melissa, myself, Rob, obviously.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cost associated with building the foundation.
Yes.
And so there was a lot of spend, and there wasn't a ton of revenue coming in, because I was trying to identify my model. Like I didn't know what Fundamism was going to be. I didn't know it was speaking, and I thought maybe it was consulting, whatever. So it took me a little while. And as a result, you start to see this little debt, and it starts to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. So I took a step back one day and I was just kind of figuring out where the spend was going. We don't live frivolously. I mean, we don't buy, off the cusp things that we know aren't great for us, or investments or whatever it may be. Our largest spend, and it was something astronomical, was eating out.
That you basically just described us,
Right.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And so have you ever sat down and...
I don't really want to. Yeah. Sometimes I think, it's like the bliss of not knowing.
Sure.
Probably.
Yes. My deal is, and I've talked about this before, I love eating out of convenience.
Yeah.
And so for
We're the
me...
exact same way. Yeah.
But it sounds like you go to more classy establishments than me.
Yeah. Sometimes.
If I'm hungry right now, I'm going to go to Wendy's and I'm going to buy a 4 for $4 and an extra double cheeseburger.
That's Ross.
Yeah.
That's my husband.
Is really? Yeah. He goes hard? I got to meet this guy.
He goes hard. He goes hard in the fast food.
That's right. Shout out to Ross. I hear Ross is a great golfer.
Yeah.
Actually, you didn't say that. You said he works in the golf industry.
He's a great golfer. I went with good on accident. He's a great golfer.
But you dabble as well.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that you said about golfing, which obviously is one thing that you do for fun, sister.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do. Yeah.
Which is interesting because a lot of people play golf for fun, but it ends up bringing a lot of...
I like about 12 holes.
Okay.
That's after 12, I kind of lose interest.
Wouldn't that be dope if you could play 12 holes and pay for only 3/4 of a fee?
Yeah.
Hey, give and partake. That should be your next...
new thing.
Yeah. Hey, you're going to put that's like the movie Kingpin. Have you ever seen the movie Kingpin?
Yeah, but it's been a long time.
That's when, so the dude was a bowler and he was Amish. We do everything that you guys do, only what was it, 33% more or better. So whatever his awesome score was, it was because he was bowling 15 frames or something more than...
That's great.
But nevertheless, you golf and you're decent at it. And you were saying that one of the things that you enjoy about golf is just going out there and playing.
Yeah.
And specifically, you don't like practice.
I don't like to practice. And that's the bad thing about golfing with my husband, because he wants to teach me things and I get frustrated. So, yeah.
Now, what is it about the practice? You told me very specifically the reason why you don't like to practice is because you don't want to use up
my good shots.
Your good shots.
Yeah. Yes.
I feel like there's a metaphor there in life somehow.
Yeah. I'll waste my good shots on the driving range.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
but I normally don't. I think I actually embarrass myself on the driving range.
Really?
And that's what I don't like. There's people, there's a lot of people around. So
how many times are you going to see those people again?
Great question. Yeah.
Which is really one of the themes that we like to incorporate in every podcast here at Fundamism, is that I think that fear drives so many of us. And you use that term, embarrassment.
Yeah.
And I mean, we could point to any number of different things or moments in our life where we decided that we weren't going to say, do, or try something for fear of what somebody else thought. When in reality, really the only way to get better is to go out there and do it.
Yeah, you're so right. And I'm the queen of overthinking everything.
Which is exactly why I didn't reach out to you and tell you what to expect here.
Yes.
So on this podcast, we like to just be authentic and genuine, and whatever happens, happens. And I could very well send you a number of different topics that we're going to talk about, but I feel like it wouldn't be as fun.
You're right. Yeah. And then I would be thinking about what I need to say and trying to say the right thing. And that's when I get in my head for sure.
I get it.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. So off the dome, what has been, you listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
You've started your own business. Mm-hmm. You're now a relatively new mom.
Yes. Yeah.
What has been, one of the most instrumental things that you have learned over the course of the last 6 months to a year in this powerful journey that you've been on, balancing all of these things?
In one arena, or just...
it could be a podcast, a message or a theme, moral that you took away, or a challenge that you went through, and ultimately this is what you took from it. I don't know, whatever comes to your mind.
I mean, I feel like every day being a mom is it's a learning experience. I think I've learned a lot of humility, and just you have to screw up and then figure it out.
Sure.
And then, there's no handbook on how to do any of the things that we've been doing. And so just, a learn as you go kind of thing.
I love it.
But
so as a mother, obviously Desi responds differently to you
Yeah.
versus Ross, right?
Yes.
Is that accurate? So does he have a stronger affection in terms of like just magnetism right now?
Right now, well, so it's kind of unfair for Ross because I stay home with him for 2 days a
Okay,
week.
sure.
So I have this like every other day thing. I'm like working and then I'm a stay-at-home mom and then I'm working and then staying at home. So yeah, he's kind of a mama's boy right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're kind of in that mode right now. Melissa does the same thing. So she works Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yeah, exact same.
Awesome. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, she doesn't. Brennan goes to school full time, every day of the week, but only until 12:30.
Oh, cool.
So he gets that social interaction, which is super important, right?
Yeah.
But he is in that I want my mommy phase, and it's amazing. Like he'll wake up and he'll see me, and he'll be joyous and fun loving and all that stuff. And I'll take him downstairs and he'll see his mom and he immediately starts whining, right? And like, hugging her leg and all that stuff. Do you guys have that dynamic?
Yeah, a little bit.
What do you think drives that?
I don't know. The other day I was doing that thing where I was recording with Fox 4 for some stuff. And
Bragger.
I did. Yeah, that came out weird. It even like came out really awkwardly. And I was on Fox 4.
You might have heard of me before.
Yeah,
I'm kind of a big deal.
I like lost my
We said
train
it
of
at the
thought.
same time.
Yes.
Slightly, a little bit before you.
So there was
That was a
this is
MacGruber reference.
competition?
No, that was a MacGruber reference.
So I was on a Facebook Live thing, and my husband showed it to Desi while I was on it, and Desi freaked out. Like he was like running around, like so mad and crying.
That he
and,
wasn't
like,
with you?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he saw me. Yeah. And so yeah.
Well, so as a
interesting.
father, like that stinks right now.
Yeah.
Because it's getting to be that age where it's like we're starting to learn how to play catch, and
Ross is so excited for that.
I know. And it's just, but it's especially because of my travel, like it's disheartening when I see this. Everybody wants to be their kids. I wouldn't say best friend, but you want to be their mentor. Yeah, their hero. Yeah, absolutely. And so it's a little disheartening when, I want to create this fun and joy and fulfillment for others. And I feel like sometimes my kids don't see it. But man, I'll tell you what, Ashley, the last 2 or 3 weeks, this boy has been amazing. Like, where's daddy? When's daddy going to be home?
So it switched.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
And that moment that it happens, it's like all of a sudden a new world has opened to you.
Yeah.
And seeing you smile.
Yeah. That like really, that gets me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, because to me, like, that's the joy that I feel. Seeing you smile, that's exactly how I feel when he says things to me. And that's the joy, going back to what you said, is every single day as a parent, it's a new learning. There's some humility involved with it. There's some blows to your ego. And ultimately, it always works itself out if you do the right thing and you are humble and learn from your mistakes. Right. And I think that's the biggest message that I heard you say is you're never going to have all the answers.
Right. It's the same even in business too, Sometimes you just have to fake it till you make it.
And so tell me about that. So you said you had many ideas.
Yes.
Bad ideas specifically is what you referenced.
Pretty bad ones.
But when you landed on Give and Partake, was it just a natural fit right off the bat? Or obviously there were probably some scrapes and bruises. How did it progress?
So I guess I mentioned that I was in the liquor industry before, but my background, like way back into college, I had graduated with a social work degree. So for me, it was kind of like I was able to take the relationships that I was building in the restaurant world, because I somehow stumbled in from social work to, booze somehow. But I was able to take those relationships and then like marry it with, giving back. And so that's kind of how it progressed. But I'm sorry, I think I lost my train of thought.
No,
there.
you did it. You answered the question adequately. I just did a gig in Iowa for the Iowa Workforce Development.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Have you really? She's like, no. But essentially what it is, it was a group of like 300 social workers.
Oh, cool.
And so when you say that was a little bit of your background, that is a challenging space.
It is. And I always say that I got to do really cushy social work because I graduated and then I worked for Big Brothers Big Sisters. That's why I worked with them on the first book.
Sure.
And that is it's just really like heartwarming work. So I never had to do like the real hard stuff. So
what has been your most memorable moment working with the various organizations or charities that you've had the pleasure of working with?
I think last night, we just had our Brunch book 2.0 is what we've been calling it, launch party last night. And I've been working with the Fox for Love Fund, and they've just been like a really awesome, just a partner. Like I feel like I work for them, and I don't know if they feel the same way. But we've just been like really like working hard together. And then last night we had this party, and over 100 people showed up, and I didn't know half of the people there, so that was a really cool feeling.
That is cool.
Yeah. And so, they raised some money last night, and yeah.
Well, what's interesting about that is you talk about working together, but Fox 4 actually works for you, right?
Oh, it's...
Boom! We outside! That's how we do
you
it!
Did it. That's amazing.
If you guys didn't know, that's the slogan of Fox 4.
I wanted to sing it, but I'm not going to.
You should. No. Why? See? Mm-mm. You're in your head right now. You should have just do it.
Now it's too late. I missed the moment.
I don't know what it is, but I assume it's Fox 4 is working for you.
Yes.
I don't know. That's not it.
I think it is.
So,
you really got the hand going, though.
I mean, well, that was my T-Rex arm. That's right. That's full circle. We call that in the comedy world a callback.
That's amazing.
So, fundamentals of a fun and optimistic lifestyle. Yeah. Circling back, talked about a couple thus far. Obviously, spending time gives each other great strength, right?
Yes.
Talked about something that really resonates with me is finding a way to give of yourself to a bigger cause. Mm-hmm. And so not only have you done that for fun, but you found a way to make a living out of it. And I really thoroughly admire that.
Thank you.
What advice do you have for me in closing as a relatively new podcast host? We've been going since August. I don't listen to podcasts.
Yeah, what's your favorite podcast?
Yeah, my favorite podcast. Let's see here. No, I've never even listened to one of these.
What?
Yes.
Who are you?
I know. That's the biggest. So I send the audio to my guy in, where's Daniel at? Where have Belarus?
He's got a guy.
Belgium?
You got a guy for everything?
Yeah, I do. So his name is Daniel Koklazuru.
Whoa.
Oh, man. Dude, he's going to be so mad at me when he hears this because I just butchered his last name and where he's from. Daniel, I really love you, man. You have a quick turnaround, and you're absolutely amazing at what you do. But here's what's interesting. He'll fix the audio and add new stuff, and I'll be like, let me know your thoughts. And I never listen to them. I just post them.
That's awesome. That's great.
So somebody, this was probably early on, it was about probably 2 months into our podcast existence. Somebody's like, did you know this podcast is just white noise? I'm like, no, I did not know that.
Wait, what? Oh, it was like literally just white
so
noise?
I had to take it down and then reach out to Daniel and get another one. But so circling
awesome.
back, what advice would you give to, obviously you have some things that resonate with you in podcasts.
Yeah.
What are you looking for most from a podcast?
I like to be done listening with a podcast and feel like I've learned something and I'm a little bit better for it. So yeah, I mean, self-development, I think that's my favorite kind of podcast.
Is there a target time that you like to stay between? Because that's, personal preferences all over the place. But
like how long?
Yeah.
If it's a good interview, I don't mind listening for longer than an hour. I'm fine with that. But I listen to it more like when I'm in the car or when I'm on a run or walking. But I think 45 minutes is a good. Where are we at?
Right there.
Perfect.
That's what we shoot for, between 35 and 55.
Yeah.
Nobody's complained yet. My cousin said, hey, my workday is 8 hours. You should make it 8 hours long.
That's awesome.
So he's a fan.
That's great.
But is he, though, or is he just family? That's the bigger question.
I think sometimes it's hard to get family to be your fans, so.
That's a good point. I used to sell insurance.
Not saying that about mine, and that sounded bad, but.
But you have some in your family that are like that.
I don't know.
Look at you. You think. We all do. That's not a problem. We all have different personality styles. We all have different interests, different opinions.
Yeah.
And it's nearly impossible to fulfill everybody's, desire or, need or how they see you. So I learned a long time ago that I just got to stop trying. And
oh, man. Yeah.
if you just gravitate towards what you love, which is what you're doing, then ultimately it works out, right?
Just gotta,
All right. So if you're interested, go to giveandpartake.com or givepartake.com. One was cheaper than the other.
Yes.
We have how many books out currently?
Right now we have the new Brunch book and the mac and cheese book.
Awesome. So if you're a fan of mac and cheese, this has all the best mac and cheese spots.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Oh, I can't play favorites.
I mean, you can.
I just got excited and then I love District's mac and cheese.
Okay.
That's probably one of my favorites. But
If you're not located in Kansas City, I
Yeah.
apologize for this, but you could still respect the fact that this young lady has done the damn thing and created a new business model. And maybe, just maybe, she could come to your town and do
goals.
something
We
new.
have
That's
goals.
right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
yes.
Any final words that you would like to shout out to those looking to pursue something outside of what they're currently doing?
I think for me, it's just been just doing it. Like just like making myself get out of my comfort zone and reach out to people and want to be on their podcast, or like I get really excited about connecting with people and connecting people to other people who I think will benefit them. So
Sure.
I think I was a PR person in another life, maybe like some of my friends, I'm like, don't tell me what you want to do before you don't really before you know if you really want to do it, because I am very excitable
Right.
with that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, just do it, I guess. I feel like this is weird for me because I feel like it's like I've arrived, or I'm like cooler than I really am. But it's just like we haven't even been in business for a year yet, and we're just like,
Who are you telling,
just
sister? I'm
working on
figuring
it.
this out
Yeah,
every single day.
right? Yeah.
And that's the cool thing, is you don't have to have all the answers.
Right.
But
Yes.
I think the theme for this particular podcast, something that you've made multiple references to, and something that is the key to any successful venture, is relationships.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, right now our kids are at a prime age. I talked about how impressionable they are and all that stuff. One of the things that I want Adeline, our 6-year-old, and Brennan, our 3-year-old, to really take away is be able to understand that you could go up and talk to somebody
Yes.
and create a conversation, no matter who they are or what they look like. You got to be cautious
Right.
at times, more so deliberate,
Yeah.
right? But if you can find a way to put others at the forefront of what you do and what they do,
Yeah.
people are going to remember you, and they're going to want to support Give and Partake, or
Yeah.
your business, or hell, your daughter selling chocolate for the soccer team, right?
Right.
If you could find a way to connect with somebody by showing a genuine interest in them, then you're well on your way to
Yeah.
doing whatever the heck you want to. And you have effectively found that, even though you've got a
Thank
long
you.
journey to go.
Yes,
I
definitely
admire
do.
you a great deal for taking that risk and coming on and sharing your
Thank
journey
you.
with us. So
Thank you for having me. I
you're
really
very
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Feel free to reach out on Instagram any given time.
will.
We've probably progressed in our relationship now that we can exchange actual contact information.
Yeah. Oh, I can get your cell phone
Yeah,
number.
absolutely. Yeah. She hit me up on Instagram when she was here at Charlie Hustle. She says, "Hey, I'm here and I don't know where to go."
Yeah. This doesn't feel like where I'm supposed to be. So
Well, you've just defined my whole life. I never feel like where I'm supposed to be. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us and helping support the Fundamism podcast. You are crucial in our success, whatever that looks like. Our goal is just to get the message of the Fundamism philosophy out there. There's a lot of folks out there looking to create more joy, fun, and fulfillment in their life. And I think everybody could benefit from having a guide along that path. I'm certain that I don't have all the answers. That's why we have amazing guests like Ashley Judy to come on and tell their story. Please continue to tune in, share the podcast. If you want to see Ashley Judy, go on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. It is Paul J. Long. We have every single guest interviewed is on YouTube. So we're going to start having additional content on there as well. So thank you once again for your support. Tune into the next Fundamism podcast to see what exciting stuff we have up next, and ultimately go out, have a little bit of fun, and create some joy, fun, and fulfillment in the life for others. Paul J. Long, out.